Hello there and welcome back to Midlife Crisis. I'm Cheryl. Last week the sun went down on me. I could tell it was a little dark. Today it's a lot better. So, here we are. Yes, it's that time. You can actually feel it in the air. So, what you're gonna do. I've been trying to cover a lot of emotional stuff. So today I'd like to cover envy and jealousy. So stay with me. Growing up, you'd always hear about the green-eyed monster. This is how they refer to someone that is envious, who has a tendency to be, to just be jealous. Jealousy is a very dangerous emotion. It is the strongest ever. And I'm covering this today because a lot of us who are having these little bites or moments would always say stuff like, I never envy anybody. I'm never jealous of anyone. But if they're not versed on having emotional intelligence, they're not even aware that they're having these moments. So that's where it gets a little tricky. Anyways, I want to talk about this emotion because, I'm not fully versed in the Bible, but I do know that with Cain and Abel, he actually killed his brother and was helping to look for him because the brother was like God's favorite. This is how very dangerous this emotion is. And it makes us do crazy things. But what I want to tell you is if you're a green-eyed monster, you might want to consider trying to, suppress that emotion because a lot of times, we look at people who have things and you can feel a little tweak and it might get a little stronger than that where, okay, so you become a little jealous or envious. But to take it to the level that some people do, that's no good. If you're paying attention to what you need to make yourself happy, if you're focused the way you should be in enjoying your life and really thriving to get what you want out of this thing, you will have no time to look around to see who has what or who's doing better than you, or even, like we said last week, competing, because the two intertwine. But I'm kind of breaking them up individually because jealousy is a very dangerous emotion. And it really does make us do crazy things. And I'm talking to you about it today so that you can look at it from a different perspective. I'll take myself, for example. I try to admire, and sometimes I wonder, I wonder how this happened, or what can I do to get this? But to start loathing someone because they have something that I feel that I should have, I will not be that out of place. And I use that term because that is what it is. You have no idea what some people go through to get where they are. When I look at some of the stars, when I read some of the process, you have ones that ate out of a garbage can. That's the extent we're talking about. You have to be willing to put yourself through stuff. Now, that is what I'm guilty of. Like, I've spent most of my life, when I came out of the corporate world, I have actually put myself in the mode where I am doing experiential empathy. And that is basically to actually put yourself through it, to have an experience on purpose so that you'll understand. And that's what I've been doing. And I'll tell you, it's not comfortable. When you put yourself in these positions, and I do often, I'm also testing because a lot of things intertwine. For example, faith. Faith is believing in something that you're not seeing. And it goes hand in hand with taking chances, which is what I do. I will test drive something and I will go the extra mile knowing that it can burn me, but I will keep that faith to know that it's going to work itself out. That is not a comfortable position to be in. I can tell you right now, it hurts. But a lot of people that I know take these kinds of chances are entrepreneurs. They will leave a job that's paying them $200,000 a year and go and make $10 an hour just to have that experience, to put them on the path, to their goal. And that is basically how I live my life. And all of the other people who are successful, not to say that I am, I'm just saying, I'm using an example. But the point I'm making here is you don't know what someone went through to get where they are or to have what they have achieved. So you have no business watching someone and being envious of them, putting yourself through these motions because you feel as though they shouldn't have that. You have no idea what that person went through to get to where they are, So that's why I'm outside, so it's gonna, you will have that. But that's why it's not healthy to watch someone and be envious of them for what they have achieved. That is no good. So if you are one that does that, just remember what I said. Because you have to have the faith, you have to have the drive to go that extra mile, to feel that pain, to have that psychic satisfaction, to go after what you want at any cost. And that entails being able to get out of your comfort zone. If you're not willing to do that, then you have no business being envious of someone that have something that you feel you should have. It doesn't work that way. You don't get to sit back and have something without going for it, because that's the name of the game. You have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone, and you have to have that faith. Let's not forget that, because nothing happens without faith. The point that I'm making today is that it is not healthy to walk around and be envious of people's achievements. It is not a good thing. And what I've been through, I am talking from experience. There is nothing hypothetical about this conversation right now. I don't have a lot of friends. I'm not dealing with a lot of family members. I move a lot by myself, and I can count on one hand how many people I can say to this day that are my real friends. And I'm not a little girl. Like, I've been around for quite some time, so I know it is very painful. Friends that you know from childhood. That's why it's so important to have a good friend. When you have a friend that you've known from childhood and you're still able to keep that relationship without competing against one another, or each other, I should say, that is a genuine friend. We have no business at this point watching what someone has and being envious of it, because we have no idea what that person went through to achieve it. Okay, so if you're in that mode, and one is too many, try to think about that. You should be happy for others. You should be, admiring others for going after what they want and achieving it. And you should be busy doing the same thing, not looking to see who you can hurt because you're envious of them. Because this thing, it becomes a rolling snowball. It gets bigger and bigger, and you find yourself doing some crazy things that you will have to answer for. It's not worth it. Okay, so sit and think about that emotion and try to suppress it. Okay, check us out at midliferises.com, and do subscribe to the channel by clicking on that bell icon. We have stuff like this coming all the time, and you do not want to miss a beat. Remember, knowledge is power. Okay, and we will see you next time. Take care now. Bye.